Yeah, hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Salesforce real-time scenario series. Today we are going to discuss to the another real-time scenario and as well as to the it is the one of the interview question. So the interview question here is the search by the contacts by the name. When we are going to enter by the as a user, they can enter by the contact name based on that contact name. Um, which contact is identified with that name, we have to display those records into the in the table format. We have to display by the list of the contacts into in the table format, and contact name must be as a clickable. So that contact name must be as a clickable. When user click on to the particular contact, that initials should be passed from the child component to the parent component. So here we have to pass it to the from the child component, the parent component, the contact initials means each name of the initial. So we have to display. So let me I will show you that is so then here we have to use it by the dispatch event to we can pass the data from the child component to the parent component. This is the one of the interview question. So here contact name, for example, Abhi Ram. Abhi Ram, Abhi space Ram. So in this, we have to pass the from the child component to parent component. In Abhi, we have to take it by the A initial letter of the name A. In Ram, we have to get it by the R. A R, we need to pass it to the parent component. In the Abhiram, a is the initial letter. In the RAM of the initial letter is the R. AR should be the pass it to the from the child component to the parent component. Initials of the contact should be passed from the child component to the parent component. So let me show you first output. Then we can see the how we are going to implement by the step by step for this scenario. So here we have to search it by the Abhi. Okay. So in the Abhiram, so here we have the only one record. Abhignya also we have the record set. So based on the search functionality, it is appear by the here the data. Based on the here displayed by the data. Let me refresh by the page. So here we are entered by the Abhiram. Once we click on to the here, name should be the clickable. Okay, once I click on to the Abhiram, A and R should be the passed to the parent component. This is the initial is the in the parent component. This is the child component actually. This whole contact, search contact and list of the contacts is the child component. This would be the parent component. When I click on to the here, it should be passed to the A and R. Abhiram, A is the here, R is the here. If you click on to the Abhignya, just A only. Why? Because means Abhignya is the only, we have the total one name, right? If you click on to the Abhiram, it is passing by the Abhiram. If you search with the test, so here couple of records onto the test. So for example, if I click on to the test contact 1, 2, 3, see here it is appear by the TC. T is the first letter and C is the initial letter of the name, right? Okay. So here I click on to the this one TATC. So this is the interview question, how we are going to implement such scenario with using to the dispatch event, and we have to pass it to the data from the child to parent component. That is the important thing here. So let's see how we are going to implement step by step for this scenario. So initially we have to develop by the this search box. Okay. Then after we have to display by the list of the contacts based on the this search. Based on the this search. Okay. So let's see how we are going to implement step by step. I am coming to the Visual Studio. Close by the all. So Control Shift P. Create Lightning Web Component. So real-time scenario underscore. So here we have to display by the contact details, right? Contact details. This is the child component. So that's why here I'm going to take it by the child. So here, first of all, we would like to display by the search function. User can able to enter by the input field, right? So that's purpose. Here we have to take it by the search functionality purpose. Let's come to the here in the HTML. So here I am going to take it by the lightning input. User can able to enter by the data, right? That's why here I'm going to enter by the here input label, enter contact name. So here we have to take it by the, this is the type is the search type. By default, it is the string, right? Here we are going to give it by the search. I will show you without to search and with to search. Initially, I am removing by the without to search type is the without search. Okay. So on change, we need to handle by the what user enter by the data, right? So that's why here on change, handle change. So let's close it by the tag. So save. So let's deploy. Before deploying to the here, we can give it by the targets. True. Within the targets, we can give it by the target lightning app page. Okay, double underscore lightning app page. Let's deploy by the this component. Whole component I am deploying. That is first time, right? Just we have to deploy by the whole component. Once it is deployed, we can able to see this component. It is deployed successfully. Let's come to the our org. I'm going to create by the one app builder page. Click on new. So click on next. Contact initials. So one reason I'm taking. So let's search with the contact. This is that our present component, right? Child component. Later we can call it by the this component in the parent component. Okay. Let's save. Let's activate. Give it by the our real-time scenarios. Yeah, LWC real-time scenarios. Save. Let's back to the here. So contact initial is the our app builder page name. So here contact, here is the text. We can able to enter by the text. Okay, on change we are not given. That's why it is showing an error. On change we are not defined method. Okay. So let's take it by the background for the lightning card. Okay, and handle change also we can define in the JS. Handle change event. So now we have to hold it by the what is entered by the user, right? That is the search key. Okay, user enter by the search key, na, that is the test or abi or something. So in this we have to take it by this dot search key equals to event dot target dot value. Okay, what is entered by the user? That value stored into in the search key. Okay, let's save. Let's redeploy by the whole component. Why? Because in these two places we did by the changes, right? In the HTML and as well as to the JS. So let's refresh by the page. So now here you have to observe lightning card will be the appear and here contact name, enter contact name. Now by default it is the string, right? Text is right. That's why it is appear by like this. So if you want to appear like a search type, so here we have to take it by the type equals to search. So then it is appear by the search type just like a lookup icon. Okay. So just I saved this one and deploy to this one. Okay, let's back to the here. Refresh by the page. See here, search icon will be the appear here. So now user can able to enter by the test or Abhiram, something like this. So what is the enter by the user? That value would be the hold by the here now in this search key. Based on this search key, we need to get it by the list of the contacts. See here, I'm going to enter by the here Abhiram. So here based on this one appear by the here search details now. So how we are going to fetch the list of the contacts. So based on the search key, we need to fetch it by the list of the contacts. That's why here I'm creating by the one Apex class. We need to get it by the list of the records. So contact details initials. Okay, this is our class name. So here we have to define by the rate aura enabled. So get contacts. So here list of contacts. Con list equals to select ID, comma, name, comma, email, whatever the fields we have, you have to take it by that fields from contact. So this query will be written by all the reason. But as per our requirement, user what is the enter by the here search name, based on that we need to get it by the that contacts only. So that's why here we have to take it by the here first of all string s name. So here where name like functionality here we have to use it. Why? Because means here we need to get it by the based on the s name. Okay. So here we have to so we can give it by the like this by the s name based on the user enter data. Based on the data we have to get it by the list of the records based on the search name. It is in anywhere is the what we are enter test we have for example we can give it is the middle of the name also it will return. Okay. So that's why here we have to give it by the percentage symbol in front and back of the name what we are. So what is the enter by the search name na user, that name will come by to the here. So let's save and here we have to return the list of the contacts. Return contact list instead of the string we can give it by the list of the contact. So save and deploy. Now this class we can access into the our LWC component. This is the our method name now. So let's import get contact from @Salesforce slash apex slash RT underscore. What is the our component name here? Initials, right? Contact details initial get contact. This is the our apex class name and method name. Okay, so here we have to take it by the one method get contact records. So now we need to access by the our apex class. Now this is the our name get contacts. So this is the parameterized method. So that's why here we have to give it by the S name. This S name we are given by the here. Here we are given a S name. Same will be the give it to the here. Okay, then our enter the value is the stored into the this dot search key. So that's why here this dot search key. So dot then result so in this result we are going to store it by the our data, right? So what is the written by the data? That is the contacts is the written, right? So here this dot contacts equals to result. Okay, what is the result written by this one? If it is get it by the any error, catch error. Just we have to display by in the console log. If it is written any error, we can check it by the here by the error. Okay, search key. What is the happen to the here? That is fine, right? Let's save and deploy. Let's check it. Get contacts. This is the our name. Okay, we have to give it by the this one curly brackets. Okay, let's save and deploy. It is deployed successfully. So result is the here our result. So here we have to get it with our result stored into the contacts. Now we have to display by these contacts, right? So let's come to the here. I'm going to take it by the HTML table. In the HTML table, we are going to display our data. Border equals to 1. So table row, initially we have to display by the table headers, name and email. Now we have to display by the data list of the records. So template for each so where we are stored in the contacts, right? For item equals to con. Okay, for item. So here we have to display by our data into the table row. So in the table row, key is the mandatory. So con dot ID. In the table row, we have to display by the name and the email. Okay. So that's why here TD contact dot name. What we are queried, those fields you can display by the here. TD contact dot email. So in the table format, we are displaying by our list of the records. Our list of the records, we are going to display by in the table format. Okay. Let's save. Up to here, we have to deploy. Let's check it by the output. Initially, what we did, we are imported by our class. In that class, we have to get it by our component. What is the search key they are entering? That search key based. This one we are getting to the here. Okay. So now here we can take it by the one search button, or that is also be the fine, or you can call it by the this method into the in this. One method to another method calling. One method to another method we are calling to the here. So based on the search key, automatically written by the our data to the functionality. Okay. So let's refresh by the our page. So border one we can give it, then it will appear by the data in the table format. Border, save and deploy. Refresh by the page. Now it will appear by the borders. Okay, let's check it by the here. Something getting an error. Let me check it. Handle change. Event dot target dot value. Let me hide this first. Let me check it. What is an issue? So let me refresh by the page. Now it is working fine. So I think so when we are going to give it this one now. So save and deploy. Refresh by the page. What happened to the here? Get contact, search result, contact. Let me check it. It is coming to the any error block. So it is not executing. Search key. Get contacts. Let me check it. Aura enabled we are given by the here. Get contact. Yes, name we are given by the properly. Contact list. List of the contacts we are written. Everything is fine. Okay, let me hide this one. Let me check it. So this dot search key, we can check it by the here. What is the written by the here? Save and deploy. Okay, I got it. What is the mistake? So here we are given to the this keyword. I forgot. So here we need to give it by the this dot get contact records, right? This is the method we are calling now this keyword. That's why it is getting an error. Okay. Let me refresh. See here, now error is the gone. Based on the test, it is appear by the records. Okay. So based on the Abhignya, here it is showing by the details. RAM. Just we have on the name of the RAM, we have the details. So edge communication, we have the any edge. Okay, like this. So here like this, we have to fetch it by the records. Okay, based on the name, we have to get it by the records. See here, Abhignya, I'm searching Abhignya records. It is the getting. Okay. So now here we have to display by the link type. This name would be the link. See here, now we click on to the link, then only here appear. No? So now here how we are going to give it by the clickable by the name. So next step is the we need to give it by the clickable name. That purpose here I am going to give it by the A tag. This will be the give it by the linkable. Okay, it is a clicking by the name. So save and deploy. So come to the here, we have to refresh by the page. Before refresh, we have to observe this is not able to clickable. See here, once refreshed by the page, see here, now we can able to clickable. Once we click on to the, we can hold it by the that particular name of the contact. Why? Because here you have to observe, I click on to the Abhiram, it is appear by the A, or if I click on to the Abhignya, here appear by the A. If I click on to the this one, TATC. If I click on to the this one, this is appear by the TC. If I click on to the test primary contact, TPC. Okay, test in the T, primary P, contact C. It is holding initial letter of the each name. Okay. So let's see how we are going to hold it by the name of the that particular contact name. Which name is we are clicking on that contact name. So that purpose here on click, before on click, we have to take it by the data name. We need to hold it by that particular name now, which is the name they are clicking. So contact dot name on click handle selected contact or clicked contact. Okay. Anything is fine. Okay. Handle contact name otherwise. So now this method we can able to declare by the here. So event. So here we have to take it by the constant CNAME event dot target dot data set dot name. Why we are taking by the data set means here we are using by the data name now. That's why here we are using the data set dot name. Alert. Let me show you the that is what we are selecting now that name. Which contact we are clicking on that contact name will be the appear by the here. So save. Let's deploy by this component. Why? Because here we are added by the data name on click and here that method we are defined by the here. So let me refresh. So now here we are going to enter by the name. Okay, now here we are going to enter by the name. Then we can see how we are going to display by the that particular name. So here I am searching with the Abhignya. See here it is appear by the Abhignya. If you search with the ROM, click on to the ROM. ROM will be the appear. If you search with the something else, test, see here, test contact 2. So for example, if you click on to the test contact email alert, see here, this is the test contact email alert. This will be the here test contact from flow. So like this here, we have to display by the data. Okay. So this is the, if I click on Abhignya will be the appear. Now our next step is the here. If I click on to the test contact 3 na, so TPC I want to display TPC. I want to display by the here. How to we can get it by the each initial letter. Test primary contact TPC we need to get it now. How to get it by the that name. Okay. Split it now initial letters how we are going to get it. So already we have to store it by in the contact name. Let me remove by the this. So here we have to take it by the one of the variable initial na. So here we have to take it by the constant. So initials equals to where we are stored our name in the contact name, right? C name dot split by the with the spaces. Here we have the spaces, na test space, primary space, right? With we can split it by the with space. Split functionality. So what is the split of the here? We have to space. So that's why we can just give it by the space. Then we can get it by the after split by the values. We can get it by the initial value na TPC. So that's why here we have to take it by the, it is written by the words. Test is the one word. You can take it by the any naming here, not required to the word, but I am taking by the word here. Anything is fine here. Each word we can get it by the first letter of the that word. So that's why here I am going to take it by the word dot character at which character you want to get it. Starting one, right? Index of the 0. Index of the 0. We have to get it. So it is the get it by the after splitting of the letters. So TPC it will be the return. TPC it will return. After that, these three values we can join, right? So that's why here we have to take it by the join of the those letters. This is the syntax. We can join without space. If you want to the space, let's take it by the space also here. Let's save. I will show you the here. So alert initials. Alert initials. It is written by the initials. Let's save and deploy. So contact name, we can split it by the with the space word, which word first letter we are getting, we can join by the like this with the space. So let me refresh by the page. See here, TPC. Without space, you want to give it by the here. Without space means like this. If you want to space, you can give it by the like this space. Okay. So if you click on to the this one, see here TC. If you click on to the test contact from flow, TCFF. If you click on to the test to email alert TCEP. Okay, so like this, we can split it by the each word and we can get it by the each word initial letter. We can get it by the each letter initial letter. So as for the interview question, after that, we need to dispatch by the these initials. We can pass it from the child component to the parent component with the use of the dispatch event. So how we are going to dispatch and how to pass it from the child to parent component. Let's remove by this one. So here I am going to define by the here. So C event equals to new custom event. We are going to use it by the here. Okay, in this custom event, we can give it by the any naming of the our name. So here we can data from child. We can give it from the data from the child. What are the data you want to pass it? Here we have to take it by the detail. In this, we are going to pass it by the initials. This is the initials now. We are passing to the here initials. Okay. So then we can close it by the this one. Finally, we are going to dispatch by the this event. This dot dispatch event. What is our event name? C event. So this will be the passing the data from the child component to parent component. We are using by the custom event. Based on this custom event, we are passing the data from the child to parent. Okay, here naming conversion is the very careful. This naming we are going to use into the in the parent component. Let's save and deploy up to here. Now we are going to create by the one more lightning web component that for the parent component. RT contact details of the parent. Now in this component, we are going to call it by the our child component. So here lightning card title contact details. Now here we are going to call it by our child component. How we are going to call it? C minus. Here we are going to give it by our child component. RT. C is the capital now here. Under the contact details, C is the capital. So that's why kebab case format now. So we have to followed by the kebab case format. We can give it by the like this. And here details. And after that, we have the underscore and C is the capital again. So child. So like this, we are going to call it by the child component into the parent component with kebab case format. Kebab case format. So here we have to call it by the in the parent component method. Now we are going to call it by the parent component on. After what we are given by the naming, same name you have to give it by the in the parent component. Here after on change on click, right? Same like here after on, same name you have to give it. What you are given by the here with the same name equals to here you can define by the your own method name in the parent component name. Handle name or handle initials. Okay. So now define by the this method into the in the JS. So event. So here we can take it by the one variables contact initials. This is the variable name. Contact initial is the variable name. This dot contact initials equals to event dot detail. Here we are going to give it by the detail now. This you can give it. Initials will be stored into in this detail. So here I'm going to give it by the detail. So once it is stored, we need to display this information into in the parent component. Contact name initials. This is the our property name. Okay, our property name. So let's deploy. Before deploying, we can give it by the targets. Already we are given by the here now. Child component. Let's copy paste. So save. Let's deploy the whole component. So initially we are calling by the child component into in the parent component. On change, we can call it by the in the parent component method. Once it is called by the parent component method, we are getting by the detail value, what is passing by the from the child component, parent component, that value. Okay, finally, we have to display by the that initials into the parent component. Let's see by the here in this page, I am going to edit. So here we can call it by the parent component. No need for the child component. Why? Because in the parent component to child component, we are calling now. So that's why. Earlier, just output purpose, initially I'm added by the child component. Now I'm removing by the child component here. Contact details. So now I'm adding by the parent component only. In the parent component too, we are calling the child component. See here, it is appear by the child component as well. Let's save. Let's back. So now here appear by the our same information child component. Now here I'm going to click on to this. See here TPCA automatically populated by the parent component. See here TCA. So A only. If you click onto this, see here BL. Actually, this will be in the parent component. This whole will be the child component. So this is the overall of the interview question. So user can able to search by the name. Based on that name, we can display by the list of the contacts. Then after user can able to clickable by the contact name. Which contact they are clicked on that. That contact initial should be the handle. Those initial should be passed from the child component to the parent component with the help of the dispatch event. Dispatch event. Okay. So this is the overall of the functionality. I hope it's clear. Stay tuned for the more real-time scenarios. Thank you.